time, so everything here's a mess. Because right now I'm doing something for some stuff here and there. But we need to talk about Mr. Williams, Derrick Wilson, the YouTuber, who again got caught posing as a fake minister and taking donations from people. You've contacted our company multiple times, contacted me, calling and ranting and carrying on and acting out. And you're in public housing. So public housing, I just talked to some people, public housing has some very, very strict rules and regulations about the things that you have done, you have already broken. Contacting my business multiple times while you were in that unit. Contacting the phone with your voices on that phone. Contacting me and harassing my family. Letters we have sent out. So hold on for a minute, let me watch this guy for a minute because he's about to do something crazy. Make sure my screen picked up off the floor so he doesn't walk all over it. Ugh. One of the things you can't do when you're in public housing, and I know this because when we first came to Philadelphia, I was in public housing. So I know all the rules and regulations in that. All the rules and regulations. Number one, you can't run a business in public housing. You have to go before the board. You have to go before them for anything. Anything you do there, anything you broadcast, videos, whatever, anything. You have to go to them and ask them for permission to do so. And if you haven't gotten permission to be showing those videos in that apartment, especially the slander ones toward us, and the way you've been carrying on and posting my face and everything, you got an eviction notice coming. So I know that. I used to be, a long time ago, as when we first came to Philly, we were in public housing. So I know their policy. I know people who work in that field. So, again, as I said before, you have done nothing in that environment but act up. That's all you've done in that environment, but act up. The only thing I've seen positive, I can't say everything. The only thing I saw positive was the e-bikes. You riding around trying to lose weight. That's it. You should have stuck to that. Definitely should have stuck to that. We can show them that you have contacted my company multiple times. Your YouTube channel with your face on it, Facebook channel with your face on it, posing as being this fake preacher that you're not done today. We can get you removed out of the building. All we have to do is contact them and give up the information, and you're out of that building. Because again, they don't play around with that. They don't. It's a zero tolerance in those buildings. Because again, I told you, it's a waiting list to get in there. It's a waiting list to get in there. If you're a single man and you get into one of those places, you are extremely blessed. Because they basically hold those spaces over for families and single mothers. And the fact you were able to obtain one of those should be a blessing to you, but you didn't treat it that way. And we can clearly show that you were attacking our company while you were in there, and also too have you on, we had you on voice recording of you contacting me, screaming and yelling and carrying on. That's your voice, ain't it? That's definitely you, ain't it? In all the videos, that's you. When I get done, I'm going to go down to the police station. I'm going to file a separate charge for you. So it doesn't land on his. I need a separate charge. I want to show them the problems we've been having with you, the way you've been carrying on and acting up, the way you've been advertising screen paint out of your apartment, which you are not supposed, or house, you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to run any or conduct any kind of business out of there due to the fact that it violates against their policies. Now, under where you rent a lease from a homeowner or something like that, that's a different policy, a whole different policy. But those different policies are different. They're much more restricted. There's certain things you can't do in there. Because I knew people who did hair for a living, did people with hair and stuff, and they were told they could not do that there. They could not run a business in that spot at all. They would have to go someplace else. So usually they would go to their girlfriend's house, somebody's house, you know what I mean? They would have a little more freedom, they could do it over there. Can you run a business out of a housing authority house? Oh, you got public housing. Can you run a business out of public housing?
While technically possible to run a business out of public housing, it is strongly discouraged and usually prohibited by most public disruption to other residents, and potential violations of the lease agreement. You should always check with your local housing authority for specific regulations regarding operating a business from your unit.
So you're showing a screen paint and your environment and you're advertising this, you're selling a screen paint. That's what you're doing. Doesn't make a difference if you didn't sell anything. It's the fact that you're advertising and you're doing it on YouTube, social media, which means you fall under one of these guidelines. On top of that, the fact that you have actually committed crimes. We've got your name on envelopes that were sent out to other people with your name on it, showing that you are attacking our neighbors and contacting them and making trouble for us. We've got you in hundreds of emails that were sent to our account showing that you were calling us scammers and curse words and everything else under the book. And on top of that, the charge that's coming up potentially of you impersonating a priest or a minister, however you want to go with it. So that means under those guidelines, and they're very, very strict. They're extremely strict. At the end of the day, you got an eviction notice coming up. But not only that, you got criminal charges and everything else coming along with it. But you are going to be removed out of the building. I had this conversation with you many years. No, when you contacted me, when I was over in the garage and you were carrying on and acting up, and I told you I would see you in court, didn't I? Yeah. His page gave up. He posted that he finally got into this place, public housing. I know public housing because I was in public housing. My mom was in public housing when we first came to Philly. I know about the rules and regulations. I also know about a lot of things about zoning and certain requirements for public housing because I have people who basically have Section 8 and all that stuff, and they make money off of it. So I know about rules and regulations of things and things you cannot do while you're in that building, and you just about broke every rule you could possibly think of. So, after the holidays, I'll be making some contact with some individuals, but we'll have some documents already set up to send over to them to have a nice little conversation with them. Since we do know what you look like, we got several pictures of you on your Facebook account, claiming to be a minister at the end of the day. We got pictures of you basically making statements that you're this great preacher and all this stuff that you're not at the end of the day. You don't have a church. Everything leads back to your Facebook page of you just riding around on an e-bike. That's basically about it. So, once we get the agencies involved, got a few agencies involved, and I have to check back with them, get those docket numbers, we'll contact your branch over there and let them know that our company's been having problems from you. You know how bad it is when a company contacts them and says, hey, look, we've got problems with one of your tenants carrying on in a building, posting our YouTube channel and just carrying on and stalking our company. There you go. That's all it takes. You're walking on crackers when you're in an environment like that. I hope you know that. You got into a place that you are not supposed to be there. Technically, you should not be there due to the fact that you have to consider the fact that they always home toward women and families only, with single women and families only. And the fact that you got in there was a wonderful blessing, and you tore that apart. Committing crimes in public housing. We talk about Maryland. What criminal charges qualified from Section 8 in Maryland? Yeah, you're on your way out. I talked to a friend of mine. Said, yeah, they're definitely gonna drop his because again, they're trying to get people in there, and they're looking for somebody to mess up so they can get him out of there and get somebody else in there. They're gonna let him go. See, doing all that stuff at the end of the day, carrying on, acting up. Oh, that wasn't even necessary. All you had to do is just mind your business, stay in your backyard, do your what you do with that, which is actually pretty good videos. You drive around these e-bikes, do that right there, and that's it. Mind your business. But you felt the need to attack me, and you call yourself a preacher, and you're carrying on that badly. You're acting up like that, and you're not even a preacher at that. You're fake. You're definitely a fake. Now, before we can go in and tell them about the charges for basically you impersonating a minister and all that, we're going to the proper authorities and get all that information compiled into a folder, so that way we can show that we had to file charges against you because you were contacting my business impersonating a minister. That's the part you don't understand. The part you don't understand, Mr. Williams, is the fact that you contacted my company, identifying yourself as a minister. You have to understand the trouble you've gotten yourself into. Posing as somebody you're not. That's like somebody contacting us claiming they're a police officer or a landlord. Can't do that. And you're not contacting an individual, you're contacting a company's account. That's a company's account you attacked. claiming to be this minister. So, you're definitely out of the building. Well, I hope you saved your pennies, because being in a place like that, the benefits of being in a place like that is the rent's really, really low. It's designed to help people get on their feet, go to the next level. And he took it and he abused it. So, you can't get mad at anybody else. You can't blame anybody else. You did yourself. Everybody heard you on the recording, carrying on and acting up, and you claim to be this preacher. Your blessing was taken away from you. And then to find out that also, too, they're not going to be really happy about the fact that you use someone else's address to commit the crimes that we have for post office mail fraud. We got your name all over every single envelope, and we got somebody else's address on it that's not yours. Explain to them at the end of the day that you have used someone's address to commit a crime. It's called identity theft. So that means you're going to be paying regular rent now. And regular rent's expensive, and very expensive. See, before you go around calling people bums and poor and broke and all this stuff, you know what I mean? You're calling me all these names at the end of the day. And again, like I said, you get public assistance. I'm not going to be wrong if anybody gets it at the end of the day, but you shouldn't be calling people broken. People like that are on public assistance, and not let them got that kind of attitude. They're humble at the end of the day. They don't come off like that. They're humble. You came off like you were some kind of freaking Rockefeller at the end of the day. Talking trash and carrying on and acting up. I know people that are happy to be in them homes. They dress them up, make them look real nice. Places are owned at the end of the day. Got some pride at the end of the day, and they should. They're blessed to get a nice place, nice little place they can park their car, and they got some pride while they're in there. But you just carried on while you was in there. You didn't take any of that blessing that God gave you and did anything positive with it. Well, good. Then your section will go to somebody at the end of the day that deserves it more than you do, because you don't need it. Breaking the law while in public housing. Well, look through all of this. The door. One thing you cannot run a business in.
Public housing, often referred to as a Section 3 business under HUD regulations, means operating a company within a public housing development, where a significant portion of the workforce must be residents of that housing, providing economic opportunities and job creation within the community. However, it's crucial to check the specific rules and regulations of the housing authority regarding business operations within the development, as limitations may exist on types of businesses permitted and the activities allowed within residential units.
You didn't read through your paperwork, did you? Oh, I read through your paperwork. So we can surely show by videos that we have on our account that you were stalking my company. We can show that you were actually looking at the inside of our places. You were taking pictures of me. You were basically contacting neighbors in my neighborhood. We got all that down there. Even your handwriting. Remember, you wrote that in your handwriting. The first one you wrote in your handwriting. So your handwriting should match any documents they have over there. Now you go over to Burlington Cow Factory and you go do your little ranch that you did. Because again, I'm going to make a phone call, a couple of them. After the holidays, I'm going to talk to a few people. And since we know where you're located at, we're going to reach out to somebody over there with some documents, letting them know that you need to be removed from the building. We are filing criminal charges against you, and we're going to tell you the type of charges you have received or about to receive. I told you he was going to find you. I told you that. I told you he was going to find you. Sure enough, he's going to find you. I even got him on, I even got it documented, and I sent it over to my sister, and she was like, okay. Now we're going to start digging into this. He's got a PayPal account that says donations. Now, churches do donations. They do. Tithes, donations, that's what they do. So why are you asking for donations when you don't have a church? I asked for an address for a church multiple times. Any person who has a church is going to put their church down for you to find it. They're not going to hide it from you. They're going to put it right there. If it's an e-commerce, they have it online. They're going to get the web address, they're going to get the schedule when they have the servants. It's going to be right there. But how come you don't have one? The first thing comes down to yours is basically pay me. That's what I'm saying. And you got a PayPal set up for donations. Donations are tax-free. So there's a document you're missing. It's a tax document required for churches. Tax document required for churches. Yeah, it's a 501c. A 501c is a document that's required by the International Revenue Code of Form SS4. This is basically a form that's needed that you have to basically, that exonerates you from basically paying any taxes. If you're basically as a church. So you've been abusing the system. You went in and you basically are not a preacher. You don't own a church in any way whatsoever. You have no doctrine or nothing. And you've been basically collecting donations from people. See how serious this is about to become? So you ran this scam pretty much right there out of that apartment. And you know why? You're right there on the computer. We got you right on the computer showing the church and this, that, and the other about Jesus Christ and everything. And we got your name at the bottom. You did that right out of that apartment or housing or wherever it is from the housing authority. You did it right from out of there. Guess what that means? You're getting moved out of the building. We got clear hardcore evidence showing you committing those crimes right there. The links going right there showing you in that building committing the crimes. Well, get the packing because it's coming, everybody. And let me tell you something. You get an eviction on you, and eviction is bad. I mean, really bad. They label you and stamp you with an eviction. It's going to be virtually impossible to get in any place else because an eviction holds a lot of weight. A lot of places won't touch you with an eviction on you. They don't give you tap outs in there. They give you an eviction on there. Let me go over here to, man, people get themselves in the dumbest trouble. Got a nerve to be in there written and carrying on and acting up like that and doing all this dirt at the end of the day. Doing all this mess. And mind you, Mr. Williams, we didn't know you at all, period. I had no idea who you were, where you came from, why you're attacking my business for no reason at all. But you and Fernando got together and came up with this plan that all you guys would get together and gang up on me. Now, one by one, what's happening? What did I say was going to happen in 2025? I said one by one, I'm going to get every single one of you, and every single one is going to end up in a courtroom. Did I say that? Yeah. I prayed on that many times. I asked the Lord, help me find you. And sure enough, we're finding you left and right. Minister Derrick Wilson. Why don't you remove your YouTube channel? That's what we're hunting for. Mine, got copies of everything. We got recordings and documented everything. We're good. You remove your channel means nothing to us. We have what we need. So that won't help you. And that's probably what the devil told you to do, but it won't help you. It's Williams, not Derrick Williams. That's definitely not him. One thing I do not like crooked preachers. I tell you, this Old Testament, man, they'd have gripped him up. They'd have threw him in a pit. He got stoned to death because that's what they did to him. There's his profile right there. Asked him a question. We asked him several questions. We asked him for documents. We asked him for a lot of stuff, man. He ain't coming up with it. And mind you, if you can't answer me on simple documents that I just requested, then how are you going to work in front of that panel? And mind you, Housing Authority, or whatever, they're going to ask you this question too. Minister Brethren Derrick. Minister Brethren Derrick. Let me see. Here we go. So this is a snake in the grass right here. Now, I expect for you to get on there and rant and carry on. That's what you do. Because, again, you're supposed to be a minister at the end of the day. You're just outing yourself. Ranting and carrying on, acting up. You know, you're just outing yourself. That's what you're doing. Curses and carrying on. That's what you're doing right now. Because you're upset and you're mad. But the proof is right there. Nothing has to be made up. We asked for several documents, and you don't have them. So why are you ranting and carrying on YouTube? Why are you acting up that way? Simple question was asked for you. Where did you go to college at? When did you graduate from college? What degree did you acquire when you went to college? Did you get a doctorate? Or did you get a bachelor's? Or did you get a master's degree? What did you get? Where's your church at? Can you give us the address? Where's the church at? Can you give us a lease when you're leasing the church? Or can you give us something showing that you have ownership of this church? Can you give us any of that? That church behind it, where's it at? Can't give me that, can you? Of course you can't give me that. That's why you got behind the Burlington Coat Factory and you ran it 3 times behind there, because you don't have the information. Because you're not that person. You're a fake. Right here you give out a story right here about how you want to help people get into the church. Right there. How you want to help people get saved and walk with Jesus. Come over here. Look at your Cash App. Copy that. Go pop over here, hit here, hit here, hit here. It brings up a Cash App. We can scan, and that's a different name. Derrick Franklin. It says right there, Reverend. It's got a money symbol right next to it. Can't get any more bolder than that. Calls himself a Reverend in this one. Looking for donations. Go back again. Let's grab this one over here. This is from PayPal. Click on this one. This is asking for donations. Makes this a monthly donation. Ask money with the credit card or debit card. And you put donations up there. When you set up your PayPal account, you can put it up there like you're like a fundraiser or something like that. You want people to donate to and stuff like that. That's where proceeds are going to. All that stuff. So they'll dig through your account and figure out what these proceeds are supposed to be for. Bottom line is, you're in these places. You're supposed to make a certain amount of income when you're in these places. You make too much money, you can't be in there. You make way too much money, you can't be in that place if you're making too much money. So they want you to report any jobs that you have right from the door. Any jobs you're working at, they want to see pay stubs, how much you're getting paid, so and so and so. Because you have to be a certain, underneath a certain, make a certain amount of money to be in there. That's why. I know. Like I said, we were in one myself. That's why I can't sit there and say that I'm putting anybody down, because my mother wanted the same thing when she came here to Philadelphia for the first time, and she couldn't find housing, and that's what she went through. So I know about this because I grew up in one. So I know the rules and regulations of it all. Don't sit there and think at the end of the day and try to say, oh, he's just putting people down. No, I was one myself. I lived in there myself. I knew people that lived in Section 8. We had Section 8 too also. So I know about these things. You can't tell me at the end of the day. I've been there. So I know for a fact you have to make a certain amount of income. And you can't be doing this, because you have to report this. Even though if you're a real preacher at the end of the day and you're taking donations, you're going to have to report this to them, because they need to know if you have any kind of income coming in, you have to report them. Because you're in a place basically that's suited for low income. That's what it's for. So if you're claiming you're doing this, you're going to have to show proof that you have the ability to do this. Nothing wrong with having a church and taking donations, but the donations are for the church, not for you. And as you can see, there's no church, there's no address, there's nothing there, there's no proof that he's an actual preacher. Where's the money going to? Money's going back into his pocket. Click and host button. Click and host button. Click and host button. Is that for your hosting for a church online? I wanted to look that up too myself. Is that a church online? So we got two areas that pop up on here. One is the PayPal link. We've already been there already. This is the YouTube video we saw already with Brother and Deborah. So it leads back to the same video right there. And right here, this is a Facebook on his e-bikes. Talks nothing about the Bible, nothing else. Just has a little promo video that pops up. Talk about saving people. That's basically about it. He's not talking on it whatsoever. He's talking about something about finding his face so he can go out and basically ride around an eBay electric bike and basically show off, riding around, getting rid of his weight or whatever he's doing at the end of the day. But nothing to do with ushering people and getting them saved. But you got some donation boxes up there. So let's go pop over to your Facebook here for the e-bikes. And there you are right there. On the e-bikes, you're claiming to be a preacher, and that every video, every single video has that link asking people for money. Every single one. Not talking about God. He's talking about I'm going to compare the features of each e-bike honestly. So he's buying these e-bikes. Where are you getting the money from to buy an e-bike? Because you got I hope it's not coming from donations. So what they'll do is they're going to go and check his receipts. He has to have a receipt on each one of those bikes. And he's talking about e-bikes up here. Now he puts on the bottom, hey, send cash to me and money to me because I need donations. Same thing here. Talks about his weight loss, diet, exercising, pedaling, all the stuff today. He talks about that. On our mission, so and so and so. Then he asks us for money again. As you can see, it's in a bedroom. I don't know why you have a microwave oven in your bedroom. If you have a house, it's a room. Most rooms will have a microwave oven in there and a toaster oven at the same. I don't know. Oh my goodness, it's too much of a headache to think about this right now. I got too much crap to do. We're trying to figure out why somebody has a microwave and a freaking toaster oven in the same facility. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, oh yeah. See, concrete walls and blocks. I told you I grew up in those places like that. I know the place. I got friends and stuff. Remember, I grew up in the hood, so I know all that stuff at the end of the day. You can pick up all that stuff. Problem you have here, man, is that there's a lot of stuff not adding up with this, but we'll get to the bottom of it all. And then right here, you have at the bottom where you're calling yourself a preacher again.
Hey, to be done with this movie, I can tell you this. I can't tell you nothing else. I'm glad to be done with the movie.
Now see, they match that voice to what you just when you called us, the same voice.
We actually have a backup. I'm gonna turn this volume button down first because I don't want to distort.
So you're going as on Facebook. You're going as Minister Brother Derrick, and I guarantee you this is probably in the public housing unit. I guarantee it's in the public housing unit. So you're basically on Facebook committing this crime in a public housing unit, posting as a minister when you're not a minister. Yeah, conviction notice coming. And they know the inside of the buildings. Where is the other phone's on the charger right now? Can you get a picture of that? I'll send that over to them after the holidays. I can go look at that. Again, you take it as in a way that you're being attacked because of what you did. No. As a Christian man, I'm not going to allow you to go in and rip people off and rob from people, which you've been doing. Steal from Christians. I don't know if they're good or not. I can't say that or not, but I feel sorry for them because they got caught up in his nonsense and they got ripped off. If you think it's wrong for me at the end of the day to report you, it's not wrong for me to report you. You contacted my family multiple times, man. That right there is handled on a separate basis. I got that separately. We're taking it to court. I'm suing you for contacting my company, harassment, and all that stuff. I'm suing you for $1 million. I know it's a lot of money, ain't it? You ain't money. You ain't got it. Clearly, you don't got that kind of money. But what we're suing you for, you're roughly looking at somewhere in the range of maybe, I say $250,000. Almost $2 million we can charge you for, we can hit you with. We're going to sue you for anything I want. That's what people understand. It doesn't make a difference if you don't have the money. If we have proof and hardcore evidence, then we'll win that case. We can sue you for anything we want, whether you have that money or not. That's how it works in court. It doesn't make a difference if you don't have it or not. That means you don't mean jack. They can sue you for whatever they want. It could be $1 billion. It'll make a difference. As long as they got the proof to prove that you did it, they can get whatever kind of claim they want on you. That's how it works in court. It's not about what you don't have. They don't mean jack to them in court at all, period. That's why you don't do stuff like that, because you don't have the money. If you got a couple $1 million to blow for doing something stupid, then you go do it. But whatever they ask for in that courtroom is what they're going to get. You're just going to have to figure a way to pay it out. Whether you have it or not, figure it out. And that's what that's the situation he's sitting in right now. Yeah. Yeah. This is public housing. Definitely public housing. I know, like I said, I was in public housing. I know for myself. So you definitely are looking at getting an eviction notice. Look at that. Minister Brother Derrick. You basically are in housing authority on their property, and you're basically impersonating a priest or a minister, whatever you want to call it. And then from here, since you're on a computer, and yes, we can trace it right back to where this building's at, we can find out that all those emails that you were contacting us came directly from this building. Another eviction. Either way, you're out. Letters we got that came with somebody else's address attached to it. Clearly, the address is not coming from your building here, and it's got your handwriting on it, and it's you, and harassing over here in Pennsylvania. Again, they're going to evict you for that too. They will evict you for the slightest, smallest thing in that place. I know that because I lived in a place like that. But the stuff he's doing, clearly, he's going to be out the door. You got no one to blame for this but you. You got a microwave oven plugged directly into a wall without a power surge connect to it. Gee whiz Louise. You know what that stuff would do? That's the most dangerous thing you could do. Number one, microwaves give off surges constantly all the time. Power surges all the time. Gee whiz, that is just drives me nuts at the end of the day. I'm sorry, people. I got surges for everything, man. I learned that lesson a long time ago. On a $300 receiver, and it blew out because I had it plugged into the wall because somebody plugged in a microwave downstairs and took out my receiver. I put surges on everything. Yes, directly into the wall. Yeah, personating the minister, and I know the inside. I need a picture of this. I know they know the inside of their buildings. They definitely do know that. Don't bother deleting your videos from your account. Your videos were duplicated months ago. Just pointless. Because I knew you guys have a habit of deleting stuff all the time. Let me see what we have here. I would have known you were in public housing until you mentioned it. I saw it right up there. You said he finally got in. Yeah, because it ain't easy getting in those places. My mom was on the waiting list for about a year, and she had kids. Single mother, she had kids, and she was on there for a year. So imagine how a guy with no kids or nothing can get into one of those places, how long it takes. It takes quite a long time. Gotta keep calling back and go around and see the worker, and they call back again, and go through appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. So you can get a voucher, you can get one of those places. So if you're blessed to get into one of those places, especially when you don't have kids or anything, You've been truly blessed, because it's very hard for a single man to get into a place like that. And what did he do when he got in there? He broke every law in the book. So, eviction is coming. Let me see here. Here we go. I'm going to get this out of the name, so his name is right there. Send this to him over. I'll take a shot of that. Let's see. Now, the reason why these pictures are being taken, Mr. Williams, is not for the fact of stalking inside of your place, because I don't post these anywhere. These pictures go over to proper authorities. See, you take pictures inside my place, and that's what you do. But these pictures right here are going to end up in the hands of the housing authority, or a public assistant, or they have down there in Maryland. It shows that we've had problems. That's the same name that shows up on our email accounts over and over again if you're harassing my company. And you have a computer in there, right? So that means you made those strikes against our company right in that place right there. Let's get your face right next to it.
Let me turn this volume down. Okay. But we got plenty of video.
Perfect. Okay, got your name right there, YouTube channel. Right there's some more. Also, too, showing asking for donations at the bottom. Close up on the donations. Okay. Well, that's it for you, buddy.
Come on over to the other show.
Well, you guys leave a paper trail a mile long. You do. Ain't hard to catch, y'all. Ain't hard to find, y'all. A paper trail a mile long. Make sure they know that all these recordings are coming from that building.
That's like, not that they e-bike love, and somebody uses e-bikes in their life. I would like to represent electric, but they think I'm too smart. But they don't realize the majority of the people that they give bikes to, they made their name off the electric. So
Yeah, you're not talking about God in these videos. You're talking about e-bikes. I went through the videos he had on here. Every single one talks about an e-bike. There's nothing in there about leading people to Christ or nothing at all whatsoever. Every single one is about e-bike. Actually, it shows you right there. Yeah, he's milking people at the end of the day. Gee whiz Louise. All right. I got everything I need. I'm good. Monday morning, day after the holiday, we'll get it started.
you're not letting me have an election. You won't let me get the name because everybody knows the name Lester. But President gave me a chance. Well, Lester he came on with a new bike, and it's in direct competition.
Man, I'm telling you. Man, I'm telling you. Sizing this guy up at the end of the day, buddy, man, you better be thankful I'm a Christian right now. You gotta be thankful I'm a Christian. I'm telling you. Dude, I'm a trained fighter. I would beat the stuffing out of you. I'm way better equipped. Oh, my goodness. I'm leave it be. I'm trying to be calm here, people. It's the human side of me. That's, at the end of the day, this guy had the nerve to contact me and talk to me that way. You want a ring fight, man? I'll give you a ring fight. Full contact. Straight to the head. See, I got to calm myself down. That's the other part of me triggering off right now. Because this man had the nerve to talk to me like that at the end of the day. And I'm trying to keep this on a Christian level. I'm trying to think, man, you want a ring fight, man? I'll fight you in a ring, but no problem. No problem. You didn't look at my profile picture correctly, did you? But I'm trained to do. But again, we can't be that person at the end of the day. I can't be that person. But what I'm telling you, that's the part you got to back down and you can't basically engage in. You can't engage in. Gee whiz Louise, man. People are bold when they're behind PCs. I bet you saw me face to face. You wouldn't even look me straight in the face. But you will see me soon. You will. Unfortunately, we can't do that. We'll go to court. But I am going to have a nice little conversation with you. I'm going to see if you're man enough to look me in the face. You do not. You like much of it. I told you. Some people are just made to run. Some people are made to stand. Take and do what they got to do. And he is not a stander at the end of the day. He's a runner. He is not going to do well in the prison system. He's not. That's an easy target. Lyrics is an easy target. But that's his problem now. He got himself in a situation. He got to figure out how to get out of it. Gee whiz. He was doing, if he had stayed away from that whole fake Christian thing, robbing people and stealing from people, and just kept it with the e-bikes, he could do pretty good with that. Because again, a lot of people are curious about e-bikes. You know, they want to know about this and that and the other. And he could help a lot of people out, get to know how these bikes are, get a chance to do a ride around here and there, test drive and stuff like that. And they were paying for that. They were paying for that. Maybe they've already did some research and they've been around on your website. Because if I found that stuff, I'm pretty sure they could find it too. And they probably saw your YouTube videos when you're carrying on and acting up. And that will pull companies away from you. So he could have did something with that. He could have been in that place. He got low income. He's not paying a lot of bills at the end of the day because it's for people trying to get on their feet. He could have did the e-commerce bikes, which technically wouldn't have been in the building. Technically, they would have been outside the building because that's where he would be at. He'd be riding around outside with it. That's it. That's pretty much it. He could have made good money off of that. See, he didn't take God's blessing and use it for anything at all, period. He just got himself in trouble. He's blessed to get that place right there, which means his bills are pretty low to be in a place like that. You don't have to pay a lot, which means you can use the money for other things, like save it for a house or something like that. And he could have saved the money up, got one of the e-commerce bikes, did some video about, hey, around town or whatever you want to call it at the end of the day, and just show him going all around town, different restaurants and eating. And that gives people the idea, like, wow, this guy's just going all over the place. I'm going to pick one up. I'll pick one up. And if enough people are picking up and buying from him, he's putting links out there to the company and say, hey, this guy's a great spokesperson. He's sold a couple of these bikes for us. Let's get him a contract. And you have a contract now. And then you can come out of that place and get yourself a big home. That's what you could have did. But you decided to take the devil's path, and now you're going to go to jail. They don't have the mind for business. They don't. That's the sad thing about it is they don't have it. Opportunities are given to them. They don't have the mind for business. All right, buddy. Well, what's done is done. You got an eviction notice coming up because I talked to a friend of mine. He actually does work for that particular, not down there, but he works for different branches. And what he saw already, he said, yeah, they're going to evict him from the door. They have to put him under investigation, so they're going to have to go through the investigation and all that stuff, everything from the door. And if you delete anything off your computer, we got copies of everything. So no point in that right there. But he's going to be under investigation. They're going to put an investigation with the panel for an eviction. Which means you're going to get a notice on your door or an email that you know that you're now under investigation. There was a complaint filed against you. And that you are running the risk of basically being evicted from the building if you're found guilty. Like I said, a friend of mine did hair in the building. You know, she should have went before the board and asked, but they said no. You know what I mean? They gave her a warning because it was something like, you know, she was doing a few hairs. That's basically about it. Nothing like this guy was doing. And she just went out and did it at a friend's house. She gave a friend a little money. She rented out her basement. She was doing it over there. So, yeah, you gotta do it that way sometimes. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed. I got to go. I got some work to do. God bless.